I'm addictive and expensive. Byron Wilcott. And I'm watching WGS-TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX. I'm Double B, being joined by my very special guest from the final tap out, ladies and gentlemen, is DJYolz. DJ, how you doing?
Welcome everyone. Today's topic that we're discussing is on Raw 1000th episode, and I've got a special question for Mr. WrestleGamer. What are your views and opinions going into the Raw 1000th episode? What are you expecting?
Well, I'm really hoping to expect a really great show. I mean, first off, this is a milestone in television history. There's been no other TV show, any kind of episodic TV show, that's ever reached a milestone of 1,000 ever in existence. So this, by itself, is a milestone achievement in television. And not only that, they're changing the format of the program. Now, a lot of people have frowned upon this format change, going to a 3-hour, because with this format change, yeah, it will bring in a lot of, haters and whatnot, but it's also, sometimes change can be frowned upon, and sometimes change can be a good thing. But a lot of people, when they look at this new format change, DJ, they're looking at it as to what happened with WCW Nitro, Monday Nitro, when they changed to a 3-hour format. But people have to look at it like this. They have to look at it like compare Nitro back in the day to our wrestling programs of today. I mean, today, I believe we have, WWE has looked at what happened with WCW, in my opinion, and they have looked at the way that they conducted their 3-hour programs, and I believe, they probably saw some of the mistakes they were making, and probably figured, this was wrong, this was a mistake, they shouldn't have done this, let's avoid that mistake. I believe that WWE has the talent, they have enough people on the roster to pull off a 3-hour show every week. Now, the question is, will it be successful? That depends on the talent. I mean, the 1000th show, it's already lined up to be a good show. I mean, first off, you're opening the show with one of my favorite duos of all time, what a lot of people consider to be one of the most controversial duos, and to me, the most funny and entertaining duos of all time, Degeneration-X, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And a lot of people are going to view this, one is, DX, no matter when they come in, they have a huge fan base. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, DX, I want to say, their run they had from 2006, when they went against Vince McMahon, and especially when they dropped the contents of a porta potty on McMahon and the Spirit Squad. It kind of gives me nightmares just thinking about it, but still, they did a lot of great stuff back then, and even their run in 2009 to 2010, when they had that big feud with The Legacy, Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, that was a lot of good stuff too. I didn't want to see them part, but, with Shawn Michaels and his back problems, he had to leave the industry. A lot of people are saying, it's because The Undertaker retired him. No, you got to know what the inside stuff. The inside stuff is Shawn Michaels and his back. He's always had back issues, back problems. To be honest with you, that's what caused JBL to retire as well, because he also had notable back issues and back problems, and it just got to the point where it was bothering him too much, and he had to walk away. I'm pretty sure, DJ, Shawn Michaels' heart, in his heart, his spirit would be willing, but his body would not.
I can't take it. I didn't know that about JBL, huh? I didn't know that. Look what you just told me right now. That his back was actually injured, so that's why he actually stopped wrestling.
Yes.
Wow.
But now look at the more of the list of the stars we have here. We could have the potential of beating Brock Lesnar, getting involved in the DX situation, and of course, we all know that Triple H, it's going to be Triple H and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. It's the most inevitable route that we can go with the WWE right now. It's the best route, and it's your major pay-per-view of the summer. And if you want to look at a way to cultivate a really huge feud, because even though we haven't seen it on TV, there's still a feud between Triple H and Brock Lesnar. And we could have Lesnar's get involved with whatever DX is doing, and in one way or another, we'll get the answer from Lesnar of yes, and we will have it. But we also have great stars too. The Rock. Now that I say that, but anyway, The Rock is going to be there. I used to be a fan of The Rock, but as of late, I'm not too high on the guy. But I'm still. Let me just say this: I'll put on The Rock shades, but I will not put on The Rock shirt, if you know what I mean. But and then also we got this wedding with Daniel Bryan and AJ, and I've received some comments I want to quickly address on this commentary. Somebody's asking me, what does this wedding seem similar to? I mean, hello, do you not know your wrestling history? Do you not know Macho Man Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth in the wedding of SummerSlam in 1991? Hello, people, I know my wrestling history. I know what I'm talking about. I know there are quite a few people, me and DJ, we know what we're talking about. There are a lot of other people out there on YouTube. I am not going to name names because I'm not about drama. That's not what I'm about. I know a lot of people are...
It's a PG show.
Yeah, but, people want to be about drama and not about wrestling. What you're going to get here is wrestling. And along with some good gameplay is here. Seeing some more stuff here from Lollipop Chainsaw, because that's going to be the gameplay you're going to be watching while we're having this discussion. But, as far as this wedding goes, it's very interesting to see, which way it's going to go. I mean, it did go over with the fans on Monday Night Raw. I will give it that, but, there's a thing between planning and execution. You can have perfect planning, but you can have sloppy execution. I believe that with the wedding for Monday Night Raw, the 1000th one, it's going to come down all to the execution. Now, I want to bring something up real quickly while we still have a little bit of time on this discussion video with you, DJ, because I don't know if you're aware of this information. But it was promoted for the longest time that Charlie Sheen winning would be the social media ambassador for the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw. Now, Sheen has backed off from Twitter completely. His job was given is to just tweet about the show, right? That's his job. Yeah, it was to tweet about the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw. How hard was that? I mean,
can't he get other people to even do it for him? Like, that's what celebrity guys do.
Yeah, and now apparently that was too hard. That was too hard for him, and he's backed down completely. What is that to you, DJ? What does that say? What does that say to you about Charlie Sheen and him just backing out of basically a Twitter job?
Well, in my perspective, right, if you just look at how he went from 2.5 men, he's been on this downward spiral. So I was shocked that, the WWE even associated themselves with Charlie Sheen, to be honest with you. The only reason why I could have thought that maybe they put in there is because he's like rough. He's like a rough edge. That's the best way of saying it. So maybe that's what WWE was actually going for. Yeah.
But now he's backed out. Yeah, but DJ, now he's backed out of basically, he was going to be a part of a milestone in wrestling history. There's never been a wrestling program, or TV program for that matter, to reach a 1000th episode like the WWE has. A 1000th episode of their show. And now he is backed out from being a part of this milestone. To me, that Charlie Sheen's dropping the ball. He is dropping the ball, DJ.
Because he backed out of... And then, aren't they down a contract or something like that? So for him to just back out... there must be something happening out behind the scenes for it to have happened. Something behind the scenes. But, we also...
couple of things that we might see on the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw, just based on what happened on this past week's Monday Night Raw. And it's a couple of things I brought up with GCW star Cody Hawkins and Jammin' Jordan, who joined me on my Monday Night Raw review, is the possibility of a match between Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho. That has epic written all over it, DJ.
I think that would be good, because if you've seen Chris Jericho from the time he came back, although yes, he never had a chance to go for that championship run, he didn't get a chance to hold on the championship, but I can see what they're trying to do there. He's been helping. People won't, like, I can say CM Punk, people can say, like, what they want to say, but at the end of the day, at WrestleMania, he made Punk look good. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
The way he's moving with him, the Chris Jericho road when he came back into wrestling, although he said, like, it's going to be the end of the world as you know it, and, like, he's going to become the star, I've seen him build other people, that whoever he's been fighting with, he made them look, my own perspective, better than how they usually wrestle. That's something I noticed.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that's a good thing to notice. Because I know a lot of people, a lot of the marks out there were saying, oh, no, Jericho sucks. He's losing, he's not as good as he used to be. Well, guess what, pal? You don't know the wrestling industry as me and DJ do. Now, another thing, because I know that on your channel, youtube.com/thefinaltapout, check it out, guys, plug.
Yes.
You already made a video talking about Cena and CM Punk, correct?
Yes,
yeah.
I already have.
Very quickly, I want you to go ahead and, just quickly summarize what you said in the video, then I'll give my thoughts on it.
Okay. The way I said it was, we've got two sets of fans going into this match. You've got the people who hate CM Punk, as in, they call him a junior version of John Cena, because he's turned into this face character, and he's not as rough and tough as he used to be. Like when he comes out with the fans, and the things he says, he's not really like pipe bombs. For him to tell, like for example, Daniel Bryan, I'm going to hold this WWE Championship, and he just drops his mic. That's not really the CM Punk that we noticed and we know. Then you've got John Cena, where you've got people who just hate his guts. And then you've got people who hate, for example, his moveset and the moves that he does, as well as the image that he has. So like the Cena hate, it's not just people who are like, oh, Cena, you suck. No. It's people who are saying, for example, turn heel Cena, which will never happen. For a time, he is an old man with a walking stick, that will never happen. As well as, you've got people who just hate the image that he has. So it's kind of weird. Like, I guarantee you now, when that match starts, you're not going to have people booing one side or cheering one side. It's going to be going both ways.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on a couple of things. And here's why. Think back to when Cena and CM Punk had their match 1 year ago at Money in the Bank. That match was epic. Hands down. It didn't matter what the kind of audience reaction we had. We had two guys in the ring who know what to do inside the ring. With CM Punk and John Cena, despite his moveset, the old quote 5 moves of doom and whatnot. But I said it on my Raw review, and I'm going to say it on this discussion video as well. I expect a really good match between John Cena and CM Punk. No matter which way it goes, if they're going to keep the belt on CM Punk or John Cena. And that's another thing. I don't know if you noticed this as of late, but the WWE Championship on the last few pay-per-views have been overshadowed by John Cena matches.
Yes, you're right. Look at it. I mean, he's in the main event, and the best way of saying is, if you look at WrestleMania, the way they used the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title, and then you had John Cena Rock at the end. And from then, it started the spiral in which John Cena is at the main event, and the championships get pushed forward. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, because before then, it used to be WWE Championship. It was your mainstay title of the company. It should be the main event in every one of your pay-per-views. Instead, they're going with the face of the company. And arguably the biggest and hottest seller right now, well, you got your two hottest sellers in the company right now in the form of CM Punk and John Cena going one-on-one for the WWE Championship. I gotta ask you this, as a prediction. Do you see that? Then I'll give my predictions. Do you see the WWE making Punk drop the title to John Cena on the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw. Is this the time for John Cena to once again run as the WWE champion?
I mean, like, I know a lot of people will say things, but I know for a fact that John Cena, maybe he should have the title, not now. That's my thing, is that he doesn't need the title at the moment right now. He's at the main event, he's got the people cheering for him. Because as you know, like, the fans turned on him when he was actually versing Rock, because they took him as the new boy, and Rock is the legend, so let's cheer for the legend. But as they did was, they turned John Laurinaitis against John Cena, they turned Big Show against John Cena, they turned the fans around. Now everyone's cheering for John Cena. But he's got the fans, he's got the support, he's the face of the business. Why does he need the title as well?
Well, they look at him as the face of the WWE. I mean, everywhere he goes, John Cena is there. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, everything. And, if they want to put more stock into him, they would probably need to put the WWE Championship on him. But, conversely, you got to look at CM Punk's situation. I mean, to me, he's had an excellent run as the WWE Champion. Think back to his match he had with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Phenomenal match. You had an awesome street fight with Chris Jericho at Extreme Rules. Over the Limit, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, it was just incredibly epic. It was incredibly epic. Then we got them at No Way Out, CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, and also, I had the privilege, DJ, I don't know if you heard about this yet, but I've also had the privilege of watching them live in a street fight at the Cajun Dome. And that, too, was epic in itself. So, there are lots of ways, that CM Punk has actually contributed to being a good champion. So, to me, I really don't think that the WWE... It's really hard to say. It's very hard to say at this point in time whether or not it's good for them to drop the title off of CM Punk and put it on to John Cena. Because there's so many different things. There are so many different things to take into consideration. We got, CM Punk, what a phenomenal run. We got John Cena, being the face of the company. It's very hard to speculate which way they're going to go with this. A lot of people are saying that with John Cena becoming, Money in the Bank, the only reason they gave him the Money in the Bank was for him to be the first guy to lose it. That's a lot of reasons that people are looking at John Cena, for him to get the Money in the Bank. They think that he'll be the first one to lose it. DJ, do you agree with that?
Well, see, at Raw 1000, this is only a prediction that I'm seeing. This is my prediction. At the moment, you've got Big Show. No one's talking about Big Show. Big Show keeps on coming and interrupting and causing mayhem. And this is like a wild... Most people would say this is a wild assumption by me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because I see Big Show in the SummerSlam promo. Have you seen the SummerSlam promo?
I have not yet seen the SummerSlam promo. I know Brock Lesnar is on there.
Promo, it starts off saying, like, starting Santino and all these guys, and then all of a sudden it shows Big Show. And it just keeps on ringing in my head. If Big Show is still at SummerSlam, and he's still talking about, like, winning, and you can see he's aiming at that championship. He's not going anywhere near SmackDown. He's only going towards that Raw championship, okay? And for me now, I'm just seeing like there's going to be an epic match between John Cena and CM Punk. I'm not denying that. It's going to be a really good match. But in my own assumption, I'm thinking maybe someone like Big Show's going to come in and he's going to ruin that match. He's going to do something where it's going to be like a no contest. Like you knock out both the guys or you interrupt it. Like I don't see the championship, although I know for a fact it's an epic night for Raw, I don't see the championship changing hands just yet. I see, for example, that's why I said like at SummerSlam, John Cena versus CM Punk. Maybe it's a wild assumption, but we have to think about Big Show, because Big Show has been coming out and causing mayhem constantly.
Yeah. But in fairness, to answer your question about my thoughts on the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw and what can we expect, we can expect a really good show, with the introduction of the new 3-hour format. A lot of people are into the Tout. By the way, yours truly is on Tout too. I'll leave the link in the description box for everybody. You guys want to check me out on Tout. WWE giving fans the opportunity to actually appear on the show, I believe it's a really good thing for them to do. But as far as the 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw, expect it to be a lot better than the 900th episode of Monday Night Raw. And if you remember what a fail that was. So, for what I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts about the upcoming 1000th episode of Monday Night Raw. Do you foresee it as a good show? Do you foresee a lot of good things happening with the new format? Or do you disagree with anything me or DJ had to say in this commentary? We want to hear from you. Put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe to, keep up with me guys, youtube.com/WrestleGamer, youtube.com/ZFXTV Network, youtube.com/ZFXFame, and youtube.com/TheFinalTapout. You got all that, guys? Good, because I'm not repeating it. So for DJ Yols from The Final Tap Out, anything, any last comments you want to make on this video before we head out?
All I can say is that you guys need to watch and cheer for CM Punk and John Cena. No hate. No hate.
No hate. No, rise above that hate. So for DJ Yols from The Final Tap Out, I'm Dolph Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.